How is everyone doing today? It's Mark with another video. A lot of you guys have been asking me in regards to the iPad Pro, how is it for students? I know I've posted a video about the iPad and the Apple Pencil together making a very practical device, and a lot of you guys are still asking how it actually changes how you take notes and how you study and stuff like that. And that's what I'm gonna do for you guys today, is go a little bit deeper into the apps I use, how I use them, how I set them up, and how I actually set up my workflow. So here is my iPad Pro and the Apple Pencil. To protect the iPad, I use the Apple Smart Cover. I know it's a little bit more expensive, and I know there's a lot better priced ones on Amazon, but Apple fanboy, what can you do? So when you open up the iPad, I don't have a password on it, just so it can be a little bit quicker. So I don't have a blank screen like I do on my iPhone when you open up the iPad. The only reason for that is because once I hit this iPad, I go straight to productivity mode and I have no need to look around for anything and make it look pretty. So the biggest app that I use with this iPad is Notability. Let's go over the format of the app. I know there's a bunch more apps that do similar things to Notability, like OneNote, Evernote, GoodNotes 4. Someone actually let me know about that one in the comment section. But Notability for me hit more check marks than the other ones did. Let me go over what I mean by that, and let's go a little bit deeper into the app. So on the left-hand side, you have all your subjects. So for me, I have all my courses, structural analysis, numerical analysis, dynamics. And within those groups, they call them dividers. I have subjects, which are basically, this is where I break it down into class notes, assignments, midterm prep for each course. So for example, if we go into, let's say, steel structures, I have class notes and assignments. So class notes, if you guys want to take a look, these are my handwritten notes for my steel structures class. And as you can tell, they're extremely legible, they're extremely high quality. And the great thing about this is you can change paper and format. So if you go to settings, paper, you can have lined paper, bigger lined paper, huge rectangles, change the color if you want. I'm not really sure why you would do that, but I guess if you're bored. For me, the best thing is the white paper with the small grid. That just keeps all my notes in line and my figures nice and neat. Or for example, if your teacher gives you PowerPoint notes, those can be easily imported into Notability, and you now have the PowerPoints there ready to write on. The one drawback from Notability is that you're restricted to one page size. This page size happened to be the page size I wanted, which worked out perfectly, 8.5 by 11, so basically just regular old letter paper, which is easy for me to print. One thing that I want to make clear about the iPad will not replace a computer. It will not replace every single piece of paper you ever use. This, to me, all this does is replace your note-taking in class for me as a student. When I get home, if I didn't have my computer, it would be somewhat difficult to study and progress. So with the iPad, what's great about it as well is the multitasking abilities. So as soon as you take it into landscape mode, you can have one app here, as well as a textbook. So you could be taking notes while looking at your textbook. And one thing I like about the iPad Pro over, let's say, the Surface or the Toshiba tablets or any other tablets that kind of give a pen sensation, is that the accuracy of this pen and the feel of this pen is significantly better than any of its competitors. I've had the Surface, I've played around with the Toshiba. This thing, honestly, is amazing. It's literally like writing on a piece of paper. What I also want to mention about the iPad is that it doesn't replace paper. Whenever I go anywhere with the iPad, I always bring with me a notebook and a pen. You can't get away with not having a pen or a piece of paper. This replaces your notes. For example, if for some reason your teacher is doing attendance, you can't sign with this, you physically need a pen. So you always gotta have one of those. And a notebook, just because in some cases the iPad Pro might get damaged. For example, if it's raining and you need to take a note outside or something like that. I know there's apps that can probably do this, but I still stick around with cue cards. So this doesn't fully replace paper, like I said before. And when it comes to reading your notes and doing assignments, the one thing that this lacks is the ability to open the same app twice. So what I mean by that is I take my notes in Notability and I do my assignments in Notability, and I can only be looking at one at a time. So the way I get around that is with the use of my computer. It doesn't have to be a Mac or anything like that. You need to download the app that you're taking notes on. For example, Notability, Evernote, OneNote is all available on PC and Mac as well, so that you can take a look, open up the note you need while doing your assignment on one. But this is really good as well. Just like a piece of paper, you can flip back quickly. That solves the issue. So say I'm doing an assignment, I need to take a look at these notes. Notability. And here are the exact same subject, the exact same dividers, the exact same output that you have put into here. And there you go. Now, you can have your notes up here, go into your assignment, and say you have a new assignment. Assignment number unknown. Right? Amazing. So that's one of the benefits of having the computer and the iPad. Okay, let me take you upstairs to my room where I actually do most of my studying and show you my actual desk setup, the way I have it set up to reach maximum efficiency. I've been fortunate enough to be able to steal one of my external monitors from home. It's outdated as hell, but the way I set up my workflow is I literally open my assignment on one window, open Notability on the other, and then take my notes and do my assignments on my iPad. I know for a lot of people this isn't how it's going to be set up, but you can make do with just using your laptop or your computer and split screening your computer so that you can have both the assignment and the note available at the same time. Okay, so when it comes to the actual note taking, this app is phenomenal. It has finger and palm rejection now with the new update, so that whenever the pen is connected, it doesn't recognize your hand at all. You can move with your finger, so you don't have to use a two-finger swipe. You can put your palm here and nothing happens. So let's take a closer look of how it actually writes. Hello, my name is Mark. So that's literally what my handwriting looks like on a piece of paper. And say you wanted to underline that. I don't have a ruler on me right now, so I'm just gonna use a cue card. I believe this is some sort of Gorilla Glass, so it's very unlikely that it's going to scratch with any sort of plastic ruler. I mean, don't take a metal one and start scratching it, but just slap it on and you literally draw a straight line. There you go, that's how you do it. And for example, say I wanted to do a diagram, right? This is where the fun creativity comes in. Say I wanted to draw a steel beam, right? Change my color to, let's say, gray. So with the highlighter feature, you can change the thickness, set it up, color it in. Isn't the same color. So every time you overpass it after releasing it, it changes the opacity. So it gets a little bit darker, a little bit darker. You can actually see it, and you can actually shade in and create depth to your schematics. If you're a student who does a lot of word processing, I would highly recommend an actual computer. I mean, Microsoft Suite has came to a huge improvement when it comes to the iPad functionality. I mean, you can run both Word and Excel at the same time. But when it comes to long-term typing or long-term Excel manipulation, you can do a lot of stuff with Excel here, but just the efficiency is not there. It actually takes 2 or 3 times as long for me. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video helped everyone or anyone who is a student looking to take notes on an electronic device. I highly recommend the iPad, but I do have to suggest that you have a computer that goes along with it. It doesn't have to be a Mac, doesn't have to be anything fancy, just something that you can pull up both notes at the same time. Or even if you have an old iPad laying around or an old tablet laying around, I'm sure that will be just fine. Alright guys, if you guys feel like being awesome, please hit that like button. And if you guys want to see more content like this on the regular, please hit the subscribe button. See you on the next one.
You can't buy this.